There's one aspect of superhero media I believe the audience doesn't feel enough: existential dread. Hear me out. My favorite thing from all of the Avengers movies, excluding Age of Ultron, is that feeling of being up against overwhelming odds. Seeing the battle for New York or whenever Thanos was on screen was a feeling I loved. They achieved it by not relying on the destruction alone. The MCU spent time with the characters and made you care for them. So when Thanos snapped, I felt the weight of it because of how many people died and the emotion the characters went through.
Oh god.
It's why the only time the DCEU came close to giving me this feeling, it wasn't through Man of Steel. It was the Snyder Cut. It's been about 6 years since I've last had that feeling. At least it was until the last 2 episodes in this season of... That was 2 wild episodes right at the end. The 3rd season of Invincible has wrapped up, and I think it might be my favorite of the bunch. It has some of the most insane moments I've seen in superhero media. But before we jump into it, spoilers for the season. For video game reviews, I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but for TV shows, I kinda need them to get my point across. Also, for comic fans, I humbly request that you don't put spoilers in the comments. I haven't read them yet. I want my first experience with this story to be in an art form that I prefer, and definitely not because I don't know how to read. But if you do have non-comic spoilers you want to talk about, feel free to drop a comment and let me know your favorite parts of the season. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of March, and to help with that, I'm going to have like 3 videos out in the coming week. As much as I would like to start this review by going over Mark's seasonal arc, standout episodes, and other character highlights, I think it's impossible to talk about the season without leading with the final 2 episodes. When the Palaplex episode ended with the reveal that Angstrom is still alive and has not 1, not 2, not 3, but like 18 variants of Mark, I unironically did the Punisher meme.
No. Wait. This will do.
It was a feeling of impending doom that superhero media hasn't pulled off in a while, and the following episode was fast-paced and chaotic. I saw people saying that they wanted 1 episode per day of the Invincible War, but I like how they didn't milk it for too long. There's so much death and destruction, I think it's better that they don't jump into every battle. So when shots like this happen later on, we're stunned at how much happened. Like, it would have been nice to see the full Tech Jacket fight, who's someone I would make a discount Iron Man joke about, but based off of the reaction I seen towards him online, I feel like comic fans would kill me if I talk shit about the GOAT. More of the fight wouldn't have really worked because his character hasn't been introduced yet, and I'll take less fights for this shot any day. Like, no joke, this might be my favorite sequence in the whole series. I'd rather the concept of this episode understay its welcome than overstay it. Even then, I don't think it understayed it. This is the overwhelming odds I want out of superhero media. The idea of making the whole world associate Mark with this destruction is so good. I don't know how Angstrom survived the season 2 finale, but I'm happy he did. They've been doing a really good job with the multiverse in this show because it exists to show how our Mark is different. And here he got to confront those evil versions of him. Those versions are so fun too. Some of the voice acting got a little over the top with them.
Angstrom! You're dead!
In general, Stephen Young's performance in this season is amazing, so I'm not going to harp on it. We also get the confirmation that this universe's Debbie is the reason why Mark is a good person. That's something I'm really happy they touched on. I'm excited to see more of Angstrom in the series, and I really hope we get to see the aftermath of 8 insane Marks trapped in a dead world. That sounds like an amazing season of Survivor. After the episode aired, it was the highest rated one of the series. As much as I love the external conflict in this episode, I don't think it hits the interpersonal conflict enough to dethrone the season 1 finale for me. Mark and Nolan's relationship is what I loved about the first season. The finale isn't intense just because a villain held Mark up in front of a train. It works because of the relationship between the two, along with Nolan trying to shut down his humanity. We get a bit of interpersonal conflict when Mark fights Angstrom. Mark's value for life is a huge aspect of his character, which is why the season 2 finale is so important for his arc. That hate for Angstrom drove him to seemingly kill, and it almost happened again. Thanks to encouragement from Oliver, you little psycho.
Do it! Kill him!
He would have done it too if Angstrom didn't escape. The change I was expecting to see out of Mark from last season happened a lot slower than I was expecting. In hindsight, I'm happy that's the route they took. Going from no killing to immediately killing this season would have rushed his arc. So again, there's good interpersonal drama, but compared to the season 1 finale, it doesn't hit as hard, and we get very brief glimpses of suppressing humanity in the episode. Realistically, it's 1 or 2 lines with Mark variants.
I came here to find Mom and bring her back with me.
I miss William.
And our Mark's character changing to the point where he's alright with killing. And what needed to fully change his character was the Invincible War and Conquest's arrival. The back-to-back of the Invincible War and the Conquest fight must have been the most insane thing to read while the comics were coming out. I know this because it was insane to watch not knowing this was happening. And that fight is the best in the series. At the time of writing, Season 3, Episode 8, I Thought You'd Never Shut Up, is the highest rated episode on IMDb with a 9.9. And I agree. I was still feeling the shock of the Invincible War and I didn't have any time to breathe. Like if I just turned on the news and saw any of this stuff happening, I think I would just like sit down and like wait to die. These are back-to-back world-ending events. It's like those TikToks of some unholy monster consuming the moon and it's captioned, "What would you do in this situation?" I don't know, man. Die, I guess. The animation in the last 2 seasons has been criticized, rightfully so. While some of the fights this season had cool moments, like Mark and Eve's team-up attack against the dragon, and how Multipol uses his powers, I actually really like how he used his clones to generate momentum. But holy, the Conquest fight is the best fight I've seen in superhero media. The animation in it was insanely good. I didn't want to blink. A part of me was hoping that the reason the last 2 seasons were at times were because they were saving the budget for something big. You know what? If the options were the whole show looks half as good as this, and then this episode also looks half as good, I take what we got. Obviously, I would prefer if the whole show looked like this. Amazon, give them more money. Like even when people were talking, it looked so much better. I really hope this signals an animation jump for the next season, because this was so good and brutal. Every aspect of it was firing on all cylinders. Even the sound design was hitting super hard. Conquest is such a fun villain. He's perfectly insane, perfectly casted. Everyone on TikTok complaining about his voice after episode 7 better be sitting the hell down right now. And the destruction he caused was a level of dread that I've only felt once in a superhero movie, when it seemed like Thanos won again. At no point did I think anyone other than Mark would make it out of this. It may not be the same emotional stakes between the two as the season 1 finale, but Eve joining the fight alone brought it close. Low-key happy Prime Video has ads right now because that gave me time to breathe. I felt like I was drowning watching this episode because the fight just kept going and it just kept getting more brutal. Man, it was so good. Like when he blew the little heart bubble thing and then punched Mark back to Earth. It also has a good humanizing moment that I love seeing from Viltrumites. And it was chilling to listen to. And it ends much like where last season ends, with Mark crossing a line he vowed to never cross. Ignore that it's at least his 3rd time doing it. Although I guess 2 of them survived. The headbutting definitely made it a lot more brutal this season. With Mark's arc this season, this last fight works perfectly, even with it paralleling the season 2 finale. Good news, it's time to talk about arcs now. Last season served to put Mark's moral compass on very shaky ground. The season started with him coping about his father and ended with him starting to become more like him. This season was the repercussions of that. In the beginning of the season, he's very hypocritical, getting mad at Cecil for using those robots. Funny enough, in a very similar way that a young Cecil would. Rehabilitation is something I'm surprised Mark doesn't believe in, but I guess his no killing rule does come from a different place than like Daredevil's. What makes the hypocrisy all the better is when Oliver kills the Mauler twins. You will be missed, Kings. Even though Mark disagrees with what Oliver did, he's not really in the mental state to say killing is bad, especially because he gets his first major confirmed kill in the series. Loved that episode of him going into the future, by the way. The show is doing a good job of confronting where his character is and showing his morals crumble under the weight of what's happening. Last year, I said I don't think we're getting the same Mark next season. While he is different, I was wrong to the extent that he would have changed. Because the show is better written than one kill making him fully okay with killing. It takes him the most intense 2 weeks of his life to get him to this point.
So if anyone else ever puts my family or anyone I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them.
And I am ready to see how far Mark will go next season. I wish I had more to say about Omni-Man because he's only really in one episode, and I liked what I saw. The humanity within him won last season, but it led him to nothing but regret. And now, after becoming friends with Alan the alien, he's finally going to fight for good. That episode was really good, by the way. Battle Beast is insanely entertaining. Alan is really proving to be one of the best characters in the show. Funny enough, what I liked out of Nolan's character is kind of being done with his other son this season. Oliver is a bit of a psycho. He clearly has good in him, but the Viltrumite part of him is definitely outweighing any morals. Him being the catalyst for Mark going sicko mode will lead to some interesting dynamics in the coming seasons. I really wonder what will happen when Mark chills out, because I know Oliver will disagree with that choice. And given how he has the same mentality that Viltrumites do towards humans, I don't think that will end well. The MVP of the season is Rex Spode. His arc throughout the show has been very well done. I love seeing him grow throughout the season. Him and Ray had some nice scenes. Can someone tell me what Shrinking Ray's accent is? I can't figure it out. And how he goes out was amazing.
My entire goddamn skeleton, dickhead.
They did a fantastic job with him. Rex is a type of character growth that I feel like we rarely get to see done so well, but here they spend the entire season making it believable that he would sacrifice himself in the way he did. Over the episodes, Rex started to become one of my favorite characters in the show, due to some good writing which made his death earned. You can't just kill a fan favorite character and expect it to work. Yes, people feel sad because we lost that character, but when it doesn't feel earned, it doesn't work. It just comes across as cheap. Yes, there were still stories you could tell with him, but ending his story here is perfect for the arc that he was getting. Side note, I am going on this rant right now because another show killed off a fan favorite side character in a way that they did not earn. If you know, you know, and I really disagree with that choice. Robot taking Rex's name is insane behavior. Sure, you want to honor him, but like, you already stole his body, bro. It's good that him and Monster Girl's relationship is developing well, because he definitely would have turned into an incel after looking like a Giga Chad and not getting the girl. Or at least someone he perceived to be a Giga Chad. On a happier note, Mark and Eve's relationship is progressing nicely. Going into this season, I was looking forward to them actually dating. It's a very good emotional core for the show. By the end, it turned into what I wanted to see. And honestly, I think that's the best way to describe this season. It showed exactly what I wanted them to show. Outside of their romantic relationship, Eve is still great this season. She had a lot of standout moments, and I feel like she's growing very well as a character, which is going to be interesting with Mark going through the inverse. I really wonder how it's going to change their relationship. I low-key love the education arc she's going on. I kind of want more of it. And a lot of her fights were kind of fun, especially in the finale. I was genuinely heartbroken when it seemed like she was going to die, and she only came out of it stronger, minus any residual trauma from those last 2 episodes. Eve's the GOAT. Honestly, thinking about it now, the trauma that happens at the end of this season is going to be really interesting for all the characters. Like, yeah, most of them lived except for Boss Baby, but there's no way you're coming out of what happened mentally sound. This season and rewatching the original Daredevil show made me realize something important. I have fallen out of superhero stuff hard since Endgame. I thought I was tired of cape shit. I thought I reached a point where I don't like superhero stuff anymore. Turns out I'm just tired of cape shit. I want good superhero content. Like, even ignoring all the big climactic stuff, there were smaller things within this season that we don't really get in other superhero media. For the record, while I was writing this part, I was still thinking about the Conquest fight. I'm still thinking about it while I'm recording this video. Hell, I'm probably thinking about it while I'm editing it and while you're watching it. Oh my god, dude, like, it was so intense. Like, this dude is insane, and the slower moments in the fight show that there is a very little bit of humanity inside Viltrumites. It makes me wonder if the Viltrumites didn't exterminate the weak. They only weeded out any empathy that they had. So everybody's a soulless monster. And even then, Conquest is too insane for them. Man, he's such a good villain. Every monologue gave Thanos a run for his money. Sorry, got completely distracted from the point I was trying to make. Even ignoring the great climactic moments within the last 2 episodes, there were so many great smaller moments throughout the whole season. The Salon opening with these 2 villains was beautiful. Love the twins from the future and that whole arc. Alan and Nolan's relationship is everything I wanted out of the last season. I love the Titan episode so much. I'm happy Machine Head is back. And how have I neglected to mention Powerplex so far? It's like so much happened within the last 2 episodes alone. Showing how much hate someone can have for before the war is perfect. Next season, we are going to see more people think like him, which is only going to help break even more. His whole arc was predictable, but still very sad. As soon as I saw that he had a kid, I knew he was going to kill him and his wife by mistake. This is the worst timeline for Jesse and Jane. And the title cards that episode, easily the best in the series. I'm very happy we got teases for a bunch of different things so we have an idea of what will happen next year, and I think the show is only going to get better. All of that happening with the Viltrumite invasion definitely coming up soon. The next season is going to be very chaotic. If this season is a sign of things to come, I have a feeling the next 5 to 7 episodes are going to be villain of the week stuff, bouncing off of things that were teased here, and then the final 2 will be the invasion. Before I conclude the video, I have a request for you, dear viewer. Between this and my Severance Season 2 review, which should be out around this time next week, I am testing out 2 formats for reviewing TV. This one for Invincible, where I talk about the whole season after the fact, and one where I record a little segment after each episode before going into the full season review. You'll be seeing that with Severance. I could go either way with television reviews, so I'm going to leave that choice up to you guys. After both videos are uploaded, I'll do a poll on my channel, and you guys can vote for which one you prefer. Personally, I prefer the Severance format from what I've seen. I haven't finished editing or writing the video because the season isn't even done yet. So I still have 2 more segments to record for the final 2 episodes before going into my full review of the season. So whether you're a longtime subscriber, new to the channel, or are going to dip as soon as you're done this video, please let me know what format you prefer. With that out of the way, I just want to reiterate, I truly believe Season 4 will be better than Season 3. I think the best has yet to come. Do you agree? Think I'm an idiot? Comment down below. Like the video if you think Mark needs to get way better at caving people's skulls in, and subscribe for more content. Follow me on other platforms if you want. Take care, guys.